Oscar-winning actress Mira Sorvino graced the big screen in the films Mighty Aphrodite and Quiz Show. Her latest role finds her on the small screen in a new TV series. She joins me now. Mira, great to have you here.
Thank you.
I watched the trailer for your new TV series. It's on BBC America, and it's called Intruders, and it's pretty intense.
It's very intense. It centers around this concept of immortality. And in the story, parallel to the 1% that, supposedly rule the world and have access to things that nobody else has, well, in this 1% has access to living forever. And we find ourselves learning about them through our central character, Jack Whalen, who John Sim plays, and I'm his wife, Amy. And when you meet me, I am obviously in some sort of intense inner turmoil that I can't really talk much about, but you see me exhibiting very strange behavior, some kind of internal tug-of-war. And then as the story progresses, some radical transformations occur, and I have a really, really meaty role with this incredible range of behavior, which has been a great challenge and pleasure to play.
Yes. Amy's all right. Because in the beginning there was death.
Have you played a role like this ever before, would you say?
I have not.
Yeah.
No, I have never played a role like this, especially since generally almost every single one of my roles is quite quickly empathetic and like a good egg. So I don't know if you'll like her, but I think you'll be interested by her. And I've never played a character that I couldn't, say, oh yeah, she's a really good person. And this, it's sort of beyond that. It goes beyond that. So it's very interesting.
We're also seeing you on TNT in Falling Skies.
Yes.
And that's a new role for you, and you're jumping into a cast that's already been around. What's that been like, jumping into that role?
Really fun. That's a completely different kind of character. She's very wild card. Like, you don't know what she's going to do next. And she wears really cool clothes. Like, the apocalypse has been good to her in a fashion sense. Like, she's wearing like an old beat up Pearl Jam t-shirt and like a shearling coat and giant boots and, very rock and roll. She's kind of badass, which I really enjoyed playing.
We were talking off camera with some of my colleagues about our favorite roles that you've played, and my favorite role is Beautiful Girls.
Oh, wow.
I saw that when I was in high school, and I fell in love with it. It spoke to me, even though I was a little younger than that. Do you remember that time and what it was like shooting that? And, if you could relate it to the character at that time, because you're around the age of the character.
I remember very clearly shooting it. It was kind of a lonely experience for me because all the other girls would kind of come in and out, and just the way that my schedule was on the movie, I was kind of dispersed evenly throughout it, so I had to stay in Minneapolis for the run of the picture while the other female actresses would come and do a stint and be gone. Mm-hmm. So it was like the guys were all off shooting, and then I would come in and do my sad scene, and then I'd go back, and the character was supposed to have an eating disorder, so I was constantly trying to like lose weight and like drinking Ma Wong drops before everybody knew they were dangerous. But it was a really good story, and I really loved working with Ted Demme, and it was very unfortunate that he died so young.
Yes, it's true.
So that was, that was a pleasure to work with him.
You got a chance to work with a lot of great directors. I mean, Robert Redford in Quiz Show.
Yeah.
What was that like? And you didn't have a main role, but your role was pretty pivotal and important, I think.
Oh yeah, that was such an honor. That was one of my very first roles that really sort of broke me out. That and Barcelona were the two things from which I was first noticed, and then I got the Woody Allen film after that.
And that's the role that you played, a prostitute, and you won an Oscar for that. And so, I mean, that was pretty incredible. When you were shooting that, did you feel as though this is something really special?
I knew it was something special from the second I read it, because I wasn't allowed to read it until I had accepted the role. So all I knew was the two scenes I had auditioned with, and it could have been just that. It could have just been a cameo, because they're very secretive about those scripts. So I had to turn down Hackers, which I was offered the lead in. We didn't know what Mighty Aphrodite was, but it was like, it's worth it. It's Woody Allen. These scenes are great. Let's just do it. Then they handed me the script. I was reading it in their office, I think the first time. Like I had to sit there in their office and read it, and I just started laughing out loud. Like, I was laughing out loud, page to page. I was so excited, like, that it was making me laugh out loud. Like, it's very hard to find dialogue that while you're reading it silently, you burst into little, guffaws, but that's what was happening. So I knew as soon as I read it what a great role it was. I never thought of what could happen because of it, but I knew this was an actress's dream role. I mean, it was fantastic.
Well, thank you so much for coming in today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.